Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. Next up is the Typhoon. It is a light machine gun. It has that shield plate there to be fired from behind cover as a support weapon. Let's compare it to just the Avenger, and we'll also compare it to the Revenant. But it weighs more than double of the Avenger. It has a greater capacity, greater fire rate, greater damage per shot, and it's actually more accurate. To compare it to the Revenant, it actually weighs more than the Revenant. It has a greater capacity than the Revenant. Same fire rate, a bit more damage per shot, and the Revenant does a lot of damage per shot for a full auto assault rifle, and it's actually more accurate. To compare it to the Geth assault rifle, or rather the Geth pulse rifle, it weighs a lot more, same capacity, lower fire rate, greater damage, and less accuracy. So this thing has capacity on par with the Geth pulse rifle, making it one of the highest capacity assault rifles in the entire game. Okay, let us test the Typhoon. The Typhoon can not be fired in bursts, just single shot, and then full auto. And this weapon fires faster the longer you hold down the trigger, kind of like the Geth SMG or the Striker. So I am going to fire the weapon just full auto. I'm not going to bother comparing single shot to full auto. That seems rather pointless. Don't know why you'd bother to fire this weapon single shot, really. And I'm going to start out firing from the hip, then sight it, and then finally throw in a scope. Okay, so point blank range from the hip. Solid grouping. Now, short. Still a solid grouping, better for center mass than the head, but you could still go for headshots, I would say, at short range. Still effective at mid-range, I would say, but I would probably start just going for center mass. We did get a few shots on the head, but not many. Let's try long. Long range, fired from the hip, seems to be beyond this weapon. Don't think I would bother. Waste of bullets at that point. And now very long. I'll just go for center mass. I mean, we are hitting our target, but for 100 rounds, that's not very efficient. So I would fire for the head at point blank, maybe short. At mid, I would start just gravitating towards center mass. Let us now sight the weapon. Seems to be an improvement. Tighter grouping for sure. Now short. Definitely an improvement, especially on our headshot grouping. Now mid. Recoil really isn't bad on this weapon. It's noticeable, but it's not awful. I would still say a big improvement at mid, and we could definitely still go for headshots at mid, I would say. Now long. Long range still, headshots are kind of beyond us, not great, but center mass is looking very good. And now very long. Just going for center mass. An improvement. That was 100 rounds, though. Not super efficient, but definitely better over firing from the hip. Honestly, beyond, say, point blank, and maybe short for center mass, I would definitely sight this for short-range headshots, sight it for mid-range headshots, and then sight it for body shots for both long and very long range. Very long range you could chip away, but it's definitely not going to be an efficient use of ammunition. Let's now throw in a scope. Point blank. Good, but not sure if it's really an improvement over just the sights. Now short. Still not really seeing a big improvement over just the sights. Let's try mid. Maybe a small improvement? Hard to tell. I would say it's definitely an improvement on headshots, if nothing else. I think we're getting a tighter grouping. Whether it's necessary, that's another story. Now long. It's way to the right a bit there. The recoil is getting difficult to compensate for. Long-range headshots seem to be awful. Not really seeing a big improvement. Maybe a somewhat tighter grouping for center mass. Try very long range. Let's see if this really increases its effective range. I'll just go for body shots. Yeah, I would say that's definitely better. Better, still not super efficient, but an improvement. So, scope is a tough call. Not really sure, to be honest. I would say use it if it helps you aim, and I think it will give you a somewhat tighter grouping, but it's absolutely far from necessary. This was the Typhoon. It is a full auto light machine gun. It's almost a support weapon. It's designed really to be fired from cover. From what I understand, cover does make a significant difference to the weapon's accuracy, so I will be demonstrating that in my live fire series. Thanks guys for watching, stay tuned for more. Please like the video if you liked it, please sub if you'd like to see more. Leave comments and feedback, ask questions, I'll get back to you, and have a good one.